every day. I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. The Giants at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
He's got it to the 43 here. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Brady. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a 1st down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Good running for Barkley there on 1st down as he'll get forward for about 6 yards.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
On 2nd down and 4, Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
To throw, it's Brady. Man open, it's Toney. He's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 2nd and 9, Tua over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From midfield, here's Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Oh, Edmonds has it knocked loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them. Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 38, Brady. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 7 yards there and a first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Giants. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. 13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And quickly, he just gets that ball out of there. Not quite sure what he was doing, and here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and the deficit will hold pat at 13.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. And they'll begin by running the option. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. So an electrifying run there as he calls his own number and takes it all the way.
Brings a new dynamic to this offense, doesn't he? And right now I'm picturing the offensive coordinator, the head coach in their minds, drawing up some more running plays for this guy because he brings some excitement to this offense.
And just a young rookie, a lot of electricity yet to come in this career. That throw by Brady incomplete. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken it around the 40. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Play action. Now it's Brady. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, 56 yards. And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action.
Ready.
On 2nd and 12, Tua going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 41.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Two and now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jason Verrett. 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick six, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for two more. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Tagovailoa trying again after the pick six. And going deep for Hill. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And that is incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. On first down, Brady. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Brady's throw caught by Tony.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Now Brady. But it's caught. Tompkins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
Off the play fake, Jordan. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year.
And the Giants have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Gano now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for,